No,
Yo,
but
hold
that's
on.
it. You know,
You mad about
Real
that,
quick,
baby.
real quick, real quick, real quick. I want to get Vapors in and Cheeky in. Let me just say this because we conflating a bunch of topics. Vapors, what's up, my G? Good to see you, right?
How you doing, Hamp? How you doing? How you doing, family?
Regular, bro. Trying to maintain and all that. Cheek, what up? Chauvinism specifically, right? I think it has a negative connotation, and I'm not sure why. Football players are better than every other niggas who play sports. Okay?
That's
Black
reasonable.
people are the most beautifulest people in the fucking world. This is chauvinism. Okay? The Most High gave us more gifts than women, nigga. We the same smart, right?
They just mad.
All that. But guess what? I bench pressed 450 pounds in my life. Yes, that's a gift. Sorry. But we like just throwing all this shit in a pot. Pro-black, chauvinism. Ku Klux Klan, chauvinism. Like, like I just want to make sure we understand this shit. Right? Because we just throwing this shit all together and it's always male chauvinist. Nah. Nikolai Chauvin held Napoleon down even when Napoleon was it was over for him. And he stayed locked in no matter what because he believed in the Napoleon even in the darkest days. That's where it comes from. It's like we don't understand it, you know? So I just want to clarify chauvinism. So my bad for yelling. I know that I needed that clip for when I do my shorts. So
Yeah, we know you gotta.
Yeah.
I think the way you
put
said
this
it,
like
right?
First of all, LeBron would not feel like he's less than a football player.
I don't give a damn what LeBron do.
I'm just saying that's what I'm saying. When it's your opinion, and it can be lighthearted when you feel like I'm the best in my sport. It's not lighthearted when your belief system infringes on somebody else's quality of life. That's why we're hammering down on male chauvinism because male chauvinism directly.
No, Sherelle, you're just saying. No, you're just saying that. That's not true. No, because because the definition of chauvinism doesn't do that, right? It's saying these people have a hold on. These people have a superior belief in themselves and their ideology, what they do, what they believe in, right? The infringing part isn't an absolute thing regarding chauvinism. You see, that's the key. Like that's the key. You making chauvinism that thing. It doesn't have to be. That's not in the definition.
I would
like that.
It's in the definition though. That's the problem.
Break it down.
So like in the definition itself, right? If you just click the AI overview or click a dictionary, it's an unreasonable or exaggerated belief in superiority in one's own group, nation, or gender, paired with the view that outsiders or other groups are inferior or weak. Right. So that's the AI overview.
Yeah, that's what. Like I said, it doesn't infringe on anybody else. You saying I'm better than these people. Right, you don't have to do for me to say football player. Well, no, I don't want to hear no AI because I already know what it is, right? So all AI is the aggregate. Well, hold on, AI is already an aggregate of what people think. You see, so now I'm here. So I understand what you said, but you saying just by proxy of the definition it infringes. That's not true. Me saying football players are more talented than basketball players, right? Because they're inferior. I'm not infringing on what they got going on. See, she was making that a 1-to-1. That's the key.
Well,
no, but that's what I was saying. Sports. I was saying
with you, but what does the word unreasonable?
Hold on, let Cheek respond. Let Cheek respond.
To do the AI thing. You can literally go to Webster. Go to Webster.
He just read me the definition.
I'm on Webster. An attitude of superior towards members of opposite sex. That's the first definition. The second one, undue partiality or attachment to a group or place to which one belongs or has belonged. Excessive or blind patriotism. So all of these things, the reason why they're viewed as negative is because the outcome, depending on the ideology, right? Like as something as trivial as sports, doesn't bother me. But if I believe somebody, for example, I think white supremacists are chauvinists, right? Within the confine of the definition I just read.
Yeah.
I would never want that to be my leader because of the outcome of his decision making. And we can currently see that happening with our current landscape. So that's why I wouldn't want a chauvinist, no matter what it is, whether it be gender, whatever the case, to represent an entirety of something because of the power that they use or the power that they have or whatever the case, they'd misuse it. So there's a reason why, I can understand the whole misogyny. Yesterday's show was super misogynistic. Like, imagine your wife, who is a doctorate, being told, and I'm not saying they said this, but being told she only got her doctorate because she slept to the top. You would have everybody who knows who that person is would have an issue with whoever said that and want to beat them the fuck up.
What was it?
No, that's not chauvinistic or misogyny.
And so here's the thing. Here's the thing, Cheeky. Yes. Right? Here's the thing that was being said. It's 1-to-1. What you're saying is how a chauvinistic person, right, can affect certain things given their ideology. I don't disagree. Yes. But people being chauvinistic isn't inherently negative. You see? It was being
okay. So it's the difference between saying something racist and being a racist.
Yeah, like I know everybody racist, but bigots is where that now you start to have a negative effect on people.
Okay, sure. We can acknowledge that. Yeah. But now we get to the original premise.
Well, let's go back to women.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Biblically speaking, weaker vessel. I understand my responsibility to women and children, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I understand that. I know that I'm superior to women and children. That doesn't mean I have to be negative, mean, curt, or anything else, right? It just helps me understand my responsibility to them. That's why I help old women with their groceries. Old men too, right? If I see them. But old women, that's why I hold the door. That's why when I go to the playground, all kids are safe. You see, that's how it manifests. It's not, because people just make it negative. That's all.
So the thing that I would argue, which is why I'm glad you included old men, because I would too.
Yeah, man.
It's not about you being better just because of your gender. It's you being better due to your functionality. Men functionally are just stronger.
Yeah.
Young men specifically, which is why old men are generals and young men are on the front lines in war, right? The same thing applies. It's not because old men are less than. It's just you don't have the same strength. You don't have the same functionality or mobility or whatever the case may be to be useful in this situation. So the issue that a lot of people will take with what you're saying, if they take the misogynist approach, is you translate your responsibility meaning more or equaling more of a person or being better than a person because you have the strength. I would say, just functionally speaking, it doesn't make us better. It would just make us more useful in this situation. Because if we flip the role, right, to something that's not physical, would women then be able to say, well, because I have to do this particular role, I think I'm better than men? No, we would say, you're not better than men. You're better than men at this role. And very similarly, women would respond, you're better than me at this role.
Indeed. And that's why we got to make sure we listen to everything everybody's saying, right? We could be the same smart. You see, like the intelligence levels, even when you look at the top of the IQ and the geniuses, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the top are men in terms of genius level, but there are women who are genius. That can be matched 1-to-1. Most of the things can be matched 1-to-1, right? So let's say Relly and I are the same smart, the same whatever that has nothing to do with physical. But then we get to the physical part and she like a baby to me.
Right.
But I'm still taller than him. You see what I'm saying?
But again,
right.
I get Hamp's point, which is the whole reason why he said God gifted me with more. Right.
Yeah, that's the key.
I get that part, and I wouldn't disagree because I'm patriarchal in my beliefs, but I would also be considered or have misogynistic views. That's just a fact, and I just don't care.
How do you get to why would you reconcile your views?
It's not because of that. It's not because of that specifically. There's other beliefs that I have that people be like, that's kind of misogynistic, and I'd be like, yeah, so that's just what I believe.
But the same thing with being used wrong, right?
Yeah. Well, misogynistic?
Yeah.
No, it's not. For example, somebody can make a racist statement that doesn't make them a racist. We just went through this. Somebody can be or have misogynistic views that doesn't make them a misogynist. That's based off of the conversation or the agreement we just had during this conversation.
What did you say?
Okay.
Wait, hold on. What did you say that would be hateful? See that use the definition and then reconcile that.
I think I gotta remember. I think it was on the long lines of, was it either I hope whatever women like whatever, because it was in relation to the dick and pussy conversation.
Okay.
It was in like, what I hope they get whatever they get. So if they get STDs, fine. They get a baby, fine. I hope that for you, right? And it was a lot of vitriol behind the statement, and I can see why somebody would be that's hateful, but I don't care, right? Given the context of the conversation, I wouldn't have cared, and I don't care because generally speaking, that's not my like standard disposition.
But it was true.
Watch out, Devin. You're proving the point, though. They get to pick and choose of what's misogyny. That's not misogyny. You're actually supporting their freedoms, right? Because remember, it was misogyny. Hold, Cheek. It was misogyny and chauvinistic, right, Relly? When they wanted to take away freedoms. You say, if you want to have a baby, go ahead. Get your abortion. Do this and a third. How would that be called misogyny?
He's saying it's like y'all are whoremongers. If I said all y'all whoremongers should catch HIV.
But he didn't just say that.
He didn't say that.
But she's making a comparison to.
But it's a false equivalency. So why do we have to accept it?
STDs and babies and
but he hold. Say what you said again, Sheik. Say what you said again.
Or what I said then?
Yeah, when they said this nigga's a misogynist.
And it's not verbatim.
Yeah,
you
paraphrase.
They didn't call me misogynist.
Okay.
Comes with that. That's for you.
Go ahead.
No one, I've never heard a woman in their life call me a misogynist. Like that shit don't even, that's not a real word.
Hey, Cheek, my heart. Why are you on this train? For what? No, none of what you said is misogynistic or nothing. Like it's not that. Yeah. They don't get to call you.
But that's why I said like I don't care. Like call me what you gonna call me.
No,
like, niggas call me.
With conversation though, we care now. Yeah, when we get off here, we don't give a fuck. I'm saying now in the conversation, like we gotta care.
No, but here's where I would agree. No, this is where I agree. Yesterday's conversation to me would be considered. I would understand why that would be considered misogynistic.
Break it down.
Why?
If you're telling me, here I am. If I said to you, you're Dr. Watson.
Yes.
Who put in pains and hours of college and she only got there because she slept her way to the top. That is a specific dismissal of her accomplishments, her intelligence, her being as a smart individual. Just because she's a woman, that's the only reason why I would be able to like, okay, that's misogyny because it's specific to women, and that in and of itself, for anybody to think that, you would have to demean so much of who that person is to even come to that conclusion.
Question, Cheeky. Is it misogynistic?
Okay. I missed what you said. Okay.
Here's another example. The reason why Charlie Kirk was called racist is because, hey, if I see a black pilot, then I think I have to get off that plane. I don't even know if he's qualified. Why the fuck would you say that? You don't think that anytime you see a regular pilot, but because his race is involved with that statement and that deduction,
I see.
Now you're fucking racist.
Okay, I see. You saying that your sentiments, depending on how egregious, are hate. Yeah. So if you make that determination or assumption about a person, place, a thing based on that egregious nature, it makes it hate. You gotta be misogynistic toward that thing. Okay.
Exactly.
I see your point.
That's where.
Hold on,
I'm gonna make it quick and
I just want to make sure I get DJ Vapors in before Devin asks his question.
Yeah, and that's the difference between somebody having misogynistic thoughts, because there's difference in someone being a particular thing. I can say I have had racist thoughts, but there's a difference between having racist thoughts and just being a flat out racist.
All right, last thing. All right, let me ask Vapors. So does this make me a misogynist, Vapors? If I get, let's say there's a fire in my house, I'll break my leg, I can't get out. I do not want them to send 2 female firefighters. Is that misogynist?
No.
Really?
No.
It could be considered misogynist. Yeah.
No, I'm asking you.
That's crazy. Wow. How?
Just want the best. You want some strong people because you big.
Go ahead, Vapor. What you think, bro? Good to see you, man.
So
What's
think
poppin'?
two girls could pull a Mack truck
Indeed.
off the ground.
Vapor, what's good?
Well, I mean, instinctively, like going off of what you were saying about the strength thing, like man versus women and physicality and strength. That would be like the same. Like when Sherelle was speaking on chauvinist, I was thinking of like the situation with Serena Williams and her dad, and also like Joe Jackson and Michael Jackson, like how they considered, um, that kind of misogynistic on how he was raising them up and training them to be who they were and who they became as like Serena and Venus. But like the outsiders consider that like misogynist or chauvinistic type behavior. Just to, like, are we on the same page like with that? Like
their father was
yeah,
considered
like
misogynist.
like they consider him misogynist because how he was hard on him, like in the movie, training him up. Same thing with Michael Jackson, and relative to Michael Jackson, like the harshness and being on them, making them practice and all that stuff. Like
they consider
a
that
lot of people.
misogyny. Nah, because I remember that one when he admonished that reporter for trying to make her doubt herself. You remember? So I think Venus was having an interview, and then she's like, "You think you could beat everybody?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Why would you think that? Shouldn't you be more humble?" He's like, "You heard her answer. She says she the best. Leave her alone." You know what I mean? I don't know.
But the situation between her and her father, she felt like at the time, he was being too hard on him. You know what I mean? Like
I don't think
they
that
had that
was
moment.
chauvinistic. They was calling them abusive. If you're talking about like Michael Jackson's dad and her dad, they was calling Joe abusive.
But they could also consider that like toxic masculinity because of the harshness. But it was necessary because that's what they was needed. That was what was implemented. He felt what was needed to be implemented
Yeah.
so they could
Okay.
be
That goes
great.
Okay,
back
so
to toxic
they had
masculinity.
a mama did it to a boxer. Remember we did the show I'm like you saying cheeky. Hamp.
What?
Remember we did the show with the boxer? His mama never told him she was proud of him. She never told him she loved him. But he became like one of the greatest.
No, Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Vapors is pointing out like, yeah, what would be called in his example toxic masculinity. The mom, I'm trying to figure out how to reconcile that with what he's saying, but it's the behavior essentially. Yeah, yeah, toxic masculinity, 100%. I mean, Vapors, I heard that before. Like when I said like boys don't cry.
Mm-hmm.
That's toxic. Da da da. I'm like, what? And I say from physical pain specifically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm bringing that up because like I feel like that's tied into misogynistic because like that's how certain people of like that ilk would describe that behavior, but actually in actuality that's what was necessary to make them great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe
And
not the
it's
whole abusive part, but
mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying, staying on them, being hard, and
Yo, can I say
pushing the
something real
limits.
quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the common denominator was being missed in the conversation is familiarity. Like when she asked you earlier, would you be is it misogynistic if you want two women, you don't want two women, lifting you out of a building on fire? Like you familiar with the fact that women are not stronger than men. So it's not misogynistic. It's just a fact, and you're going off of information. When my wife and my mom and daughters and all them call me misogynistic, it's incorrect because of the familiarity. They know I got their best interests at heart. They know everything that I do is in support of them having a softer, good life on this planet. So I can't be misogynistic. But when you're not familiar with the person, when you don't have any kind of commonality or anything, and then somebody just hurls something at you like that, yeah, it's okay to assume it's misogynistic because you have no basis on what you're talking about.
Yeah. No,
I think that's the common denominator. Like that's how our women should stop calling us misogynistic. If your man or somebody that's close to you or somebody that you know says something to you that you feel is misogynistic, but you know that this person has your best interest at heart, then that should be the answer, that you shouldn't be calling them misogynistic. You can't just hurl that shit out there like that.
Okay, so this is also the thing.
Oh,
Hamp said a woman set the record for bench pressing at 450.
yeah.
Do you think the average man can bench press 450?
No.
He obviously trained for that, right?
Yeah.
So why they would take the thing as a misogynistic, as a firefighter, firefighters are trained to do what they do. The average woman probably can't do what the military woman can do because they're in the military and they're trained for these things, right? So you're saying that even though I do this every day, I wake up and I train for this. I'm telling you, I can lift the 450 pounds, but you think I'm inept because I'm a woman, right? So you're just automatically thinking that the firefighters are inept. But they take it as offense because this is what I train for. This is what I do. I've trained to be able to carry men out of burning buildings because this is my job. Or if a police cop comes, I'm trained to protect and serve. I'm going through the training so that I can do my job. But you're automatically going to say that I'm not qualified or I can't do my job just because I'm a woman and how you think about women.
No, Sherelle, I was going specifically to Hamp's situation. You asked him if he would feel comfortable for a woman picking his big ass up out of a fire, building on fire. So if I'm looking at that specific situation and you telling me I'm being misogynistic because I'm worried about if I'm gonna make it out this fucking building alive, then I'll take misogynistic. You see what I'm saying? Like that's not to me a great example.
You can own your misogyny, but you can't make women not see misogyny.
No, don't do that. No.
Like that's not misogynistic.
Rock, stop. Rock. That's part
of misogyny doesn't affect. Misogyny has zero effect on men. So you won't. So nobody won't feel like they're gonna put you as a man.
Hold on.
I can't let hierarchy of what misogyny could be when you're not even affected by it. It doesn't even affect your life.
Rock. No, you don't. This is the thing that happens. This is the thing that happens. You're getting shamed into accepting a title that is not true. You're like, oh well, if it's misogynistic, oh well. No, that's part of the reason why we in this problem. You can't just accept the label. That's asinine. Because just because a woman
I wasn't accepting it. I was just trying to let her see how stupid that sounds.
No, but even then, that's
not stupid. If you're gonna call me misogynistic because I'm trying to preserve my life with the best knowledge that I have at hand.
The argument you're arguing the wrong. Let me reply. Let me reply to it.
Was on that ground and two women showed up. He damn sure would.
Let me reply.
That's the same way racist people used to feel like
they gave you the wrong reply. Your example falls flat because the parameters for women to qualify are distinctly different from the men. Right? They're not held to the same standards. So the men have to run faster, jump higher, do more pull-ups, more sit-ups, more countries, right? They literally grade them on a curve. So if they had the same qualification parameters, that'd be one thing. But they lessen the qualification parameters to fit the physical aspects of the women.
So what I think, because my niece and my cousin is a firefighter, they wouldn't send her in there. If they sent two women to get you out of burning building, I would consider them women qualified. I would think that the fire department sent two qualified women that could carry you out there. I would think that the black pilot that's driving the plane is qualified. I would think that the black surgeon that has to operate on a white man dying is qualified. I'm not gonna unqualify them because based off their race or their gender. If you're disqualifying somebody based off their race or their gender, discriminatory.
All right, let me look at this. Let me show you this. Let me show. Stop. These women are out here apprehending this perpetrator, right? It's 4 of them. You assume that they're qualified to apprehend said perpetrator based on your logic.
Women trying to arrest 4 women cops trying to arrest a man, and he ain't having it. So this is Chicago. This is embarrassing.
This is 202 Sam.
These girls are doing all they can to arrest this guy. This is not a video from Blacked.
This 2213, another car, 95 so 4213.
What was that show, Reno 911?
Yeah,
is that
exactly.
This might be a promo for that.
This looks like a sketch comedy deal. I mean, these girls are doing everything they can.
They're gonna have to.
No, they not.
Tase him. Don't tase me, bro. Don't tase me, sis. And what's funny is, like, he's not even trying to break loose and run. He's just standing there proving that they can't do it.
This looks like me trying to get my kids to take a shower.
Yeah.
Just get in.
I mean, just not having it. So now they got him up against the wall.
What the hell? Well, there's an obesity issue involved here as well, I think.
0206. 213.
Got him around the throat. Trying to get him down. They got open handcuffs right there. I don't think they did this in the academy. Like, this is not part of the training protocol. Now they're like, you know what? This is embarrassing. Let's zoom out and just get away from this fiasco. The one girl's
taking
winded.
a break. She's taking a break.
Yeah. She's winded. Handcuffs are on the ground. Now he's gone. He's like, all right.
He still got away?
Yeah.
Can I point out as well, before you start, that he wasn't even being aggressive. He was just restraining.
Yeah.
He wasn't throwing punches and throwing elbows and grabbing them, he just restraining.
But I also want to. I don't want to get too far.
The video was for me, Devin. I'm replying to him.
Okay.
That has zero merit on what I was saying.
Okay. How is that?
If
being dismissive?
It's so easy to say when death is in your face, who you choose to save you. If 2 women showed up and they could save your life, you ain't sitting there waiting on no men to come.
Well, that's just a,
if you stranded on the road,
that's just a disingenuous response, though.
No, it's not, because there are men who are stronger than other men. So only the strongest men should work for the police force.
Did you hear what I said? Did you hear what I said? So I said, if I'm in a burning building, leg broke, I prefer them to send 2 men. What? So why are you saying if death is on my doorstep and I'm burning, I'm gonna say no, get the women out of here? I didn't say that. I said my preference, if I'm fucked up, is to send the firefighters, preferably the men.